We are HTLA Radio 1. You will lower your shields and prepare to be boarded. We will add your distinctiveness, your advertisers, and your sponsors to our own. Resistance is futile.
HTLA Radio 1 in New York City proudly presents CRASHTalk.
HTLA 97.3 FM in New York proudly presents rock superstar Crash Jesus.
Thank you very much. We are back for part 2 of today's Crash Talk, the Bieber Twinkies. The Bieber Twinkies. Yes, you recall in part 1, I covered the Twinkies aspect of the show, along with the helpful little footnote I threw in from Facebook. Hope you all had a chance to listen to that and enjoy that one. That was so much fun, wasn't it? Wasn't it good? I loved that. Anywho, I had to pause for a quick little break there, grab some of the wife's wonderful, I might say, shortbread cookies. Shortbread cookies. Huh? Oh, yeah. Shortbread! Let's hear it. You gotta love the shortbread. Oh, yeah. Big ones. There you go, honey. All right, gang. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. You can only have one. I'm sorry. That was a special hand for my lovely wife, Kate, and the shortbread cookies. Yes. You could bake Hostess under the table anytime there, honey. Anyway, yes, welcome back. We covered in our first half hour, of course, the whole situation with Hostess and the greed involved in the Twinkie scandal, shall we say. Should we dub that a Twinkie scandal? I guess we could. Then, of course, after covering that most professionally and completely, I might add, we delved into a little footnote there about Facebook and their really, I would actually use the word retarded implementation of their policies and procedures. Yeah, right in-house. Yep, retarded. That's what I would call that. And you know, it really kind of strikes me as a WTF moment. You got to sit there and ask yourself, if this is how you guys are carrying out your own policies and procedures from within your company, how do you get anybody to give you money? That's not in any business model I've ever seen. How does that work? How do you get to be a billion dollar company? How do you get there and have drooling morons implementing your policies and procedures? How do you do that? I don't know. You know, maybe I'll go ask Don, the free COO there, see if he can answer that one for me. Because you know what? I'll bet you money he can't. In fact, I'll put it on the table that Richard Branson would be perplexed at this one. Jeez. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have used Richard Branson as an example. He actually cares about his customer service. That's why he's where he is. Badumcha. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, moving on to the lighter side of the hell that is my show, we're going to move on to the whole Justin Bieber fashion debacle. That's right. It's an official debacle. This was dubbed by the Canadian government there last week as an official debacle. And so we're going to roll with that, you know, in the interest of peace and goodwill towards all countries. Well, except the ones that aren't like us. Yeah. Anywho, You probably heard about it. I'm sure you have. If you haven't, you're gonna. And I got to do another little shout-out here, too. Special thanks to Sumatra Coffee. Yes, Sumatra. When you think coffee, don't just think any old coffee. Don't even think Cafe Fantastico. No, think Sumatra. Right. I should also mention that today's second part of the Bieber Twinkies episode is, of course, sponsored in whole and in part by the lovely folks at Procast, who, I think we're just going to say it, aren't we? Yeah. Today's episode is...
Powered by Procast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Never get tired of hearing that one. Anyway, continuing on with the show, Justin Bieber. Now, the media all over the world just kind of went nuts on this last week, as did, well, pretty much everybody, which I find kind of odd because Justin Bieber, to me, is kind of a non-entity, non-issue. It's kind of like Howard Stern, really. No disrespect to Howard Stern. Lots to Bieber, but no disrespect to Howard Stern. I just don't understand. Wow. I've heard... I think now it's safe to say countless episodes of Howard Stern. Countless. And, how that man is the king of radio, I just don't know. I've listened to the shows. I've listened to his crew. I've listened to him. Maybe it's because he's so opinionated. He's that Jew that's not afraid to go back to war. Kind of something interesting. A little side note here. I'm gonna deviate from my normal show formatting here for just a moment to kind of reflect on a piece of tape I heard last night. Actually, I came across it on YouTube, and what it was Howard Stern's show the morning of 9/11, and I'd seen CBS and NBC and ABC and CNN and everybody on the planet's coverage of the happenings of September 11th, 2001, but I had not heard, the Howard Stern show. So I hit play and spent the next 3 hours going through that show as it happened with Howard and his crew, and the unknown cabbie or the cab driver or whatever the hell that characterization is supposed to be, they're step by step reliving or actually in this case living the actual horror and nightmare that was that day as it happened on the air with them. And wow, the first plane had just hit the first building, and there he is saying, "I know who did this. I know who, the effing towel heads. That's who did this." He said that. Yes, he did. About 8 minutes after the first plane hit that first building, when nobody knew nothing, there's Howard Stern on the air at whatever the hell station he works at, WNYC, I think. And he's just put it out there. It's the damn towel heads. And I listened to the man over the next hour and a half with this kind of rage building inside him, and he kept going back to war and just bomb the hell out of them and just be done with it. Any country that has terrorists in it, just bomb the hell out of it, and it's their fault for having a country with terrorists in it, and bomb the hell. Wow. Call me crazy, but I thought the Jews would have had enough of war. Yeah, just saying. And for you people under 30 years old that don't have a clue about the Holocaust, yeah, go look it up. Because we don't teach that in schools anymore. It's not important, right? Anywho, yeah, not a very appealing show for sure. And, he had an opportunity there, in my view, to do a whole hell of a lot more with that show than he did. And he didn't. And he sucks ass. And I'm going to say it now and for all time. Howard Stern. The king of what? Anywho, getting back to my show, which is ever more awesome, I think, than Howard's would ever be. And I don't even have sidekicks or people I can hand off to waste airtime because I can't think of anything constructive to say other than kill them all. We'll get back to what I'm talking about, which is Justin Bieber, which is kind of that circular thing. It brings me right back to Howard Stern. Anyway, gonna digress. Promise. Yeah, so Justin Bieber, on one of his many, many world tours, because he is just that awesome, of course, was trashed in the media and globally last week, being touted as the white trash prince after wearing quote-unquote overalls and a baseball cap, on backwards, I might add, further to that little insult, to accept the prestigious award from the Canadian Prime Minister. He actually received the Diamond Jubilee Award, which is actually for Canadians who earn achievements abroad. Not on abroad, because I'd have all those awards, but no, just abroad, meaning other countries other than Canada. So he received this award, yeah. Now, his choice of wardrobe was, of course, the first thing under attack because, as you'll see for the artwork for this show, of course, I've had the art department take a little artistic license and switch it up a little bit just for my show, but essentially it's Justin Bieber meeting the Prime Minister of Canada, and they're shaking hands, and yeah. Gang, he's wearing that girly necklace that he always wears. In fact, if you'll go back to the last music awards, that black nightmarish outfit he wore then, which I swear is a mini dress underneath a black sweater and some sort of shiny black pants and shoes that I think even Sammy Hagar would be embarrassed to be seen in, these kind of red pullover loafers with pointy studs in them, like he's some BDSM master dom slaver, but he's this puny little runt of a kid with, yeah. And I'm not even going to go there. We'll get to the Prime Minister thing here. His choice of wardrobe at the national ceremony with Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper earned him searing disapproval from the celebrity gossip blogosphere, the entire international entertainment media, and Twitter. Twitter didn't like it either. They were very upset. Just a little side note there. He became the target of bloggers' wrath after he wore a striped pair of blue overalls with one side deliberately unbuttoned over a white T-shirt and a backwards baseball cap to the Ottawa ceremony in which PM Harper awarded Bieber a Diamond Jubilee Medal. The outfit earned the moniker of a white trash prince on Gawker.com. Prince. Now remember, we said this now, folks. We're going to play a little Crash Talk word game, Prince, because I'm going to go back to this at the end of the show before we sign off, and I'm going to refer to something else here that is Crash's official prediction for the future of Bieber. And you're definitely going to want to hang out for that one because it's going to be something. So Bieber accessorized with some stud earrings. Oh, that's so special. A long silver neck chain and a black wide-brimmed baseball hat, which he strategically turned backwards so a small tuft of his golden locks would be visible from the front. Oh, he is just a fashionista! He polished off the number with bright neon yellow sneakers. Yes, because he already did the red booties with the spikes on them for the music awards. So you can't make that faux pas, gang. Always, you got to change up the shoes when meeting the PM. Now, Harper, of course, as always, was in a full suit and tie and certainly contrasted with Bieber's choice of attire. In a picture posted to Twitter, Bieber is looking up at Harper while the Prime Minister's gaze appears almost lost on the boy wonder's unbuttoned top. Or perhaps it was the bling draped around Bieber's neck that held Harper's gaze. While he's shaking the Bieb's hand, Harper appears to be smiling slightly. Perhaps he is as amused as the blogosphere is horrified by the Bieber's wardrobe fail. Quote, he said he was